The other big news story of the week is, of course, Unity and Epic becoming best friends instead of dire rivals as they were last decades. Hello, dear listeners. This is News Navigator by 2.5 Gamers. We will round up the news of the week. Specifically, this one will be from the week of 17th of November, where we'll really try to go very brief, no fluff. This will be as podcast as it is, so don't expect anything video on YouTube unless you want to see my face. We'll be switching positions with Felix and Mate, so each week one of us will be doing their own setup, maybe a little bit of a flavor. Should be again very brief, give you the latest without needing to kind of go through all the stuff and noise that's been out there. A few big news with context, and then just the headlines and descriptions. So yep, let's get to it. So biggest news this week: Apple launches the MiniApps Program, which is basically their take on WeChat mini games. The important parts of this is that there's different commission fee, which is 15% instead of the usual 30%. And yeah, of course, you need to, in order to qualify, you need to follow the Apple's guidelines and have some kind of a technical stuff there, such as HTML5 and JSON. This is just another one of those pushes that we've seen there. Nothing really new. Facebook already tried it. I was there. It died horribly. Let's see how this goes in China. This works, of course, in WeChat, where WeChat minigames are growing like crazy. They're doing billions of revenue a year because WeChat is the super app, which means all the other apps are there in it. Therefore, the whole Chinese mobile ecosystem is built around it. Whereas here in the West, we have the Silicon Valley apps ecosystem, meaning that there's a separate app for lots of things. Therefore, it's not that easy to kind of get all the users immediately. But yeah, let's see, because I'm guessing that at some point, because it's so successful in China, somebody will crack it. Maybe this time Apple, I don't know. I'm a little bit more skeptical. The other big news story of the week is, of course, Unity and Epic becoming best friends instead of dire rivals as they were last decades. So there were multitudes of announcements by Unity CEO and Epic CEO Tim Sweeney, where they announced a pretty deep collaboration and partnership regarding all of the things, ranging from AI, web stores, compatibility and interoperability between Unity and Epic, and basically Unity games going to Unreal Engine and being cross-compatible, even UFN, if I understand correctly. So yeah, I'm guessing that this still needs a little bit of a dust to settle for this to understand like how this will actually work. But of course, it seems that it's a broader push that is just a consequence of people going outside of the usual stores, which is again coming from China, the influence there, where there are multitudes of stores, multitudes of different models and payment stuff. Setups where again this could give Epic and Unity the edge over pretty much breaking the usual Apple and Google duopoly that we have lived in for the last pretty much from the onset of the app stores. So let's see how this goes. Pretty important stuff, but yeah, let's move on. Then we have some small headlines. I'll just kind of skim through it. Stash acquires Galleon to expand Stash acquires Galleon to kind of again try to be competitive in the D2C race, because that's heating very much up. All the guys are again going because of the new rules on the market to try to have as much web store revenue as possible and capture as much companies to kind of go there. AppsFlyer has presented their new suite of products. Google ruling, the one that opens up the third-party payments, is finally enforced, and this is US market only. So yeah, from this point on, this is much more like this is now kind of changes fundamentally, but as I said, like everybody is expecting this, so nothing new. Roblox introduces some new verifications to kind of, I guess, try to mitigate one of their biggest problems, which is just child moderation content, because of their whole user base being very, very young. The interesting part about this that users will be placed into brackets, which will be 9 under, 9 to 12, 13 to 15, 16 to 17, 18 to 20, and 21 plus, and should be only able to chat with the others in their own bracket unless they are designated as trusted connections. So yeah, this is, in my opinion, expected, because Roblox, I think, is just one scandal away being hit by, I don't know, 30% loss in stock, because it's very hard to kind of moderate that of a giant platform. If I understand, they even shut down them forums because they just couldn't moderate them, just too much. So let's see how this goes, but definitely I think a step towards the right direction. There was a Google Play competition, the usual annual one, where it was announced, the winners are already announced, and the best game of the year is Pokémon TCG Pocket, currently the biggest Pokémon game on the market, which already grossed more than 1 billion from its launch in last year's October. Yeah, I'm still playing it, it's great, and yeah, let's see how this goes forward. Then we have some new announcements. Vampire Survivors, the PC game, is having a deck builder spin-off slated for somewhere next year. Yeah, this just like out of all the news seems to me quite interesting, because we just covered the deck builder, which is Chaos Zero Nightmare, the big Korean game, and I still think like the mobile world is waiting for a very, very good deck builder, because that game is very, very complex. So let's see what happens next. NVIDIA, the biggest company by market capitalization in the world, just announced their results, which is 57 billion for the quarter, which means the AI bubble continues to be the bubble and just going to monstrous proportions, so nothing there. The dark horse news of the week is, of course, Ubisoft. By the time you're hearing this, maybe we would already know, because as you know, Ubisoft halted trading basically and didn't release their usual earnings, and yeah, everybody's thinking that somebody probably bought it in the meantime, as it's still halted. But the news is that Friday, as you're hearing this, they should release the earnings and trading should resume. So yeah, this is coming from Bloomberg. So let's see if we see either the mysterious buyer or a giant drop in the stock price, and basically the acceleration of Ubisoft's fall from grace. Let's see. Anyway, that was the news. See you next week, and stay 2 steps ahead of the game industry. Ciao.